Hey there, it's Gio with Strategic Edge Trading. Real quick, I just want to take you through what SkyMap actually is. SkyMap is a complete trading framework that it's really all-encompassing. I kind of like to think of it as like having an AI chart analyst, an AI risk manager all in one, right? That's just right there helping me throughout my trade session. It's really answering all the questions that I might have before I even ask them. And it's going to give me a lot of information at a glance. So, I mean, what's going to pop out at you right away is that we have these clouds. The clouds tell you what the market structure and what the trend direction really has been. So we know that we're in a bearish structure right here. And since price is beneath the cloud, we're actually in a trending leg, right? If price is inside the cloud, we're chopping and we might be chopping lower, except we have these handy glows and the glows tell us, the clouds tell us what the structure is. The glow tells us how to react. Yeah, we've got a little trending leg happening right here, but something about it isn't sitting right with the Stratus engine, and it's flagging it as a low potential move that it thinks that this bearish price leg, because if we zoom out, you'll see it had been going for a while, is mostly exhausted. And it's warning that we probably shouldn't be taking an entry over here because, well, what does the yellow tell us? High probability reversal. So with a high probability reversal, my reaction, right, is going to be that I'm going to look for an opportunity to get long. When I get this storm cloud kicking off right here, that's an entry that I would take right here to the storm line. So let's just peep that real quick. 767 up to 841. That's quite the substantial trade. In fact, for me, that'd be a one and done. I'd be done for the day. Um, but yeah, so it gives you these trade setups. You've got the bonus signals that fire, like these delta squeeze signals, these golden third signals. There's also divergent peaks and a turtle soup variant that's proprietary to Strategic Edge called Willy Soup. Down here, you'll see the BW momentum oscillator. This is telling us like when a move is more or less reached its conclusion. We know that up here it's definitely distributing off positions. So while we're chopping higher, we can expect institutions to be um, offloading their longs and taking on short positions. And what happens after that? Well, naturally, price declines. And where does it decline to? Well, it's going to hit the lower extremes down here, start to accumulate before going back up. So this really just tracks the range and accumulation and distribution cycles and lets us know where we're living in all that, right? Because the easiest thing in the world is to fall victim to thinking that down here is a great place to go short. They engineer price movements to trick retail traders into making decisions like that. And the sky map will help you steer clear of those things. Here we see a storm glow, which means that this is a valid place to take a long entry. That's great. We see a little fair value gap coming right there on that change of character as we displace up, comes back to touch back into that fair value gap. All of this is tracked right here in the sky map, by the way. And then we see the blue glow, which tells us that we're in clear skies, and that price leg runs and runs and runs. And that's all the while we're reducing our risk exposure, trailing our stop up on the safety line. Um, and up here we get our red glow, which is our emergency brake, tells us to get out of the trade if we haven't already trailed out on that safety line, right? So um, pretty complete framework, but it gets even better because we do have the risk manager. Now, the risk manager, as you can see, now that I've turned it on, is blocking out our chart because earlier we had hit our daily profit target, but we're going to clear that out so we can see exactly what the risk manager does. and how it's going to, oh, whoops, right, how it's going to place our stops for us. So, market's closed. It's the weekend, but we can still see that when we have the risk manager on, it's tracking everything. And there is a reason that we use manual inputs, right? Originally, I had built this out with a lot more automation, but what we came to learn was that um, the act of logging it, like it doesn't have to be a full-blown journal entry right in this second, but the act of just logging it, having to open up the settings, having to put in whether you won or lost, or whether you violated your risk, and own, the outcome of that trade in that moment stops the cycle a little bit because most revenge trading happens because you took that loss and you want to jump right back in. This forces that moment where you have to sort of acknowledge that, you know, something happened, whether it was good, I hit my profit target for the day, my chart shut down like you saw before, or maybe I'm going to log a loss and now I have to see that, okay, it's time for me to drop my risk tier and it's time for me to take a winning trade so I can earn back my allocation, right? So we'll say that we're bearish right now. So that moves the stop line right there. Stop is always looking at the most recent pivot, and then it's going to go a little bit behind that. That's perfect for our SkyMap style of trading. Um, So you could enter a market order and then just literally drag your stop right to that line. And you know that as long as you adhered to the, allowed contracts inside the data box, then, you're well within your risk parameters. Everything's going to be just fine. You set your own risk parameters. I have this set to a 50K Apex account right now. So you get $2,500 of drawdown. Most I'm gonna risk on a full size position. 1R is 10%. I'm pretty quick about getting to break even or locking in profits. So that number doesn't really concern me. If I were to take a full 1R loss, I would drop from my current risk tier of full down to half. You'll see that automatically adjusts your allowed contracts right there, which is based on the stop ticks and the tick value of the instrument that you're trading. So all of this is auto-calculated. All of these things, um, help you make smarter trading decisions in the moment. Um, say I logged a 10-point loss there. Well, then I owe myself at least 5 points to get upgraded to um, the back to full risk threshold, right? So, um, yeah, a little manual logging is good for the soul, separates you from some potentially angering chart moments and lets you come back a little bit more clear-headed, definitely in tune with what's going on. The last piece of the puzzle, the thing that really ties it all together, are the sweep levels. So these are our daily magnet levels. These auto populate by 7 a.m. every morning. They are locked, ready to go for the New York session. They're developing overnight. You can still use them. They're just definitely a lot more, I mean, and especially in the uh, Asia and London sessions, they tend to be a little bit more range bound anyways. So you'll just kind of see bouncing back and forth between those those key levels that have been identified. But if we come into New York, you'll see that these things get played off of every single day. Um, Here we come down and sweep the Asia lows, come up and take out the Asia highs, come back and retest 50% of the range, expand out of the range, break of structure, make new highs up here at the one standard deviation, retreat back into the range. Where do we start chopping? Right here between the A5 level and the Asian highs, back and forth, back and forth. It's like ping pong. Asian lows, sweep one more time, all the way back up to the one dev. Where does it bounce? Right back at the Asian highs. So as you see, it's like this is one day's example. Let's go ahead and check another one so we can see that I'm not just cherry picking, which by the way, that was just literally the last day. So now we're 2 days ago. Oh, look, bouncing between the London highs, London 50s, up to the one dev, sweeps, retreats back into the range, chops on the L50, chops on the London lows between the Asia highs and London lows, chops here on the A5, comes all the way down to the -1 dev, back up. You see everywhere it reacts is right on our levels. So I know these things. I don't know necessarily which ones are going to play out, but I know that if I'm entering a trade here, I want to get out here. I'm just always going to target the nearest level. Base hits will get you paid. So that's kind of the vision, is that I always have a nifty, strong target handy. So, when I catch a good storm entry over here and we've already tested out this level, that means I've got a pretty good beat on running to this one down there. I get some confirmations here. Maybe I add to the position, move my stop up. Maybe I add again, move my stop up again. Now I've got 3 times the position size, still 1 hour risk on, and I take it all the way down here to the -1 dev. I mean, these are the kind of trades that I'm seeing and I'm taking every day with this SkyMap suite. As long as I have, some kind of key level from our daily magnets that gets taken, as long as I have confirmation that I've got room to go on the BW, I'm not in accumulation or distribution cycle, and as long as my position size and my risk are aligned with what my risk manager says I'm allowed to do, then I take the trade and then I take my profit and then I get locked out on a nice green screen, um, because I hit my profit target for the day. Yep. And once you're locked out, it's not like, nothing I can do to get my price action back besides turn off the chart or switch charts, or and if that's what you're doing, you don't need my tool set. You need a therapist in real life. But if you're out here trying to affect change, trying to be a better trader, hold yourself accountable, then this suite of tools will make it easy to be on the right side of the trade and easy to be on the right side of the risk. Keep your edge sharp, and I hope to see you out here trading with me with the Sky Map. Thanks so much. Have a great day.